The first thing to do with no selling sales. So, first of all, I want you to adopt a no selling mindset. Now, you may not know exactly what this means, but I think you've experienced it, right? It's this desperation that you meet with salespeople. You know that they don't have your best interest at heart. You know they're just trying to close you. You're hearing words like "sound fair enough" and "would that be acceptable, John?" and these sort of roles that they're playing. And the second you hear it, you're aware of it, and you immediately start to feel uncomfortable. So all what I want you to do is to completely and utterly shift your perspective from this when you're in one of these situations, is to not go into any of these tactics or these lines that you may have heard being used before, and to really focus on the individual and focus on helping them attain what they're looking to attain, or if it's in their best interest, not to attain what they're looking to attain through you. Now that is the hardest part. What I want you to do here is to not be afraid to lose a sale. And I think the reason I have a lot of success within sales is because I tend to lose a lot more sales than anybody else. But the key to this is to losing them very quickly. Is the majority of sales and building a business is really about time management, and you really don't want to be spending a massive amount of time with people who are not earnestly looking to transact, or earnestly looking to purchase what you provide, or earnestly looking for a home or an apartment, or anything like that. So really, what we deduct from this mindset is we're trying to figure out their situation as in-depthly as possible and as quickly as possible to ascertain and to figure out, okay, am I going to be able to help this person, or is there a better solution that actually in fact doesn't have anything to do with me? This happens a lot with people when they're looking on moving. Let's say if they're looking on moving apartment, they'll come in, they'll be like, oh, hey, I live in this apartment, I'm paying this much, and I'm looking on moving to this place. And I go, to be honest with you, you have a really good deal there. I'm not really sure we're going to be able to find anything that's better for you, because that is the truth. So really, that's what we're doing here with no selling sales. Is the second you become comfortable enough with yourself, the second you become comfortable enough with what you do, and the second you're able to deliver it in a way of professionalism, and that you know your industry and you're extremely comfortable with the subject matter, you're able to really show your authority and your knowledge in certain area. And what you'll find is when you do this and you say, there's going to be another video later on, say the things other people are unwilling to say. When you start saying these things, you'll start to notice different responses. Like I notice it a lot of times when people are on tour, and I'll say something, and you see that's the moment that their perspective of me changes, because they realize that there's something different going on here. One time I hired a girl that came and worked for me after being a client of ours. And she said basically, upon meeting me, she thought I was full of crap, which is normally what you think of when you meet a salesperson. And she was watching me very intensely. She loves studying characters and people pretty much the whole time we were touring. She was waiting for a break. People are waiting for the break in your character. People are waiting for the break in your integrity. And normally this comes when it's down to, do you want to do what's best for them, or do you want to close the sale and make money? And whenever this concept comes into question, as long as you always do the right thing, which is what's best for them, which may result in you losing. So really, the main mentality of no selling sales is to be comfortable with losing, to be comfortable with knowing you're not always going to be able to close every deal or make the best out of every situation, but very comfortable in yourself, knowing that you'll do your absolute best in that moment, and you'll provide the absolute best advice that you can to the best of your ability. And what you'll find here is you'll have no moral conflict. A lot of people in sales and within the industry go through this moral conflict of, is what I'm doing right? And this happens when agents come to work with me, is they go, oh, well, my last place used to tell me to do this in this situation. You're telling me to do the exact opposite. And a lot of the times that's because, and that's why I didn't necessarily do well working for people in sales, was because I constantly found this. It always got to a point where it detrimented my integrity, and I just didn't feel comfortable with what they were asking me to do. So here, with no sales selling, what I want you to adopt is this mentality of you're going to give the absolute best advice to the best of your knowledge, even if it means losing a deal or losing a client, or not necessarily losing, but directing them in the right way, which may not be them transacting with you. So first of all, is I want you to get into this mentality that you can't win every single battle. You can't make the best out of every situation, to be completely comfortable and okay living in that world. So that really there, I'm going to talk a lot more about the mentality of this and the different things I've mentioned, but that will give you a good idea of what we're starting off and what we're going to be doing here. We're really going to be changing your perspective on sales and how to help people, and how to do it in a clean way that you feel morally good and you're able to provide an excellent life for your family.